Hey jumpers, Crossrope Trainer Jennika here. Today I have a Zone 2 endurance style workout for you. So we are going to be moving nonstop for 30 minutes. I'm using the half-pound rope. You can join in with whatever jump rope you choose, or ropeless ropes, or just do some body weight extras and move along with me. The goal is not high intensity, not going all out. We are going low intensity, steady state cardio. So make sure you are warmed up and let's jump to it. Got about 10 seconds left here. We're going to start with 40 seconds of boxer step. Again, we are not trying to jump fast. 3, 2, 1, and boxer step. So we're keeping it low intensity, nice and light. Remembering to breathe. We're not going fast. Now, if you're brand new to jumping, you might find that jumping in any form is too intense for Zone 2 training. That's all right. We are working on building that baseline cardio strength. So maybe you don't jump, maybe you walk, maybe you use ropeless without jumping off the ground to build up. All right, we're going to move into some side swings here. So to make sure that my heart rate isn't jumping up too fast or too high, we're gonna slow things down into some side swings. You can do this anytime throughout the workout if you need extra rest and want to keep moving. Getting ready to go back to jumping. We're gonna do some swing kick. Here we go, 40 seconds of swing kick. This is another great skill for Zone 2 training because it's light and bouncy. Of course, if you're using a heavier rope or pushing that pace, it can be intense as well, but that's not what we're going for here. Zone 2, keeping that heart rate in that 60 to 70% of your max zone, also known as the fat burning zone, because our bodies are using fat as fuel, which is great, right? 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna go into an arm wrap here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you wrap 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to do the arm wrap. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a fun little thing you can do without jumping. Now we're going to toe to heel, or whatever you want to do. Again, the point is not high intensity. We're not going super fast. Oops, I switched into swing kick there. That's all right too. If you needed more rest than that, hopefully you are resting, listening to your body. Zone 2 training is great for a day when you want to get some movement in, but you're not feeling the high intensity. And let's try some EB swings. How about EB swing? The initials for the person who invented it. Doesn't stand for anything having to do with the skill itself, other than the name Edith Berry, who was the first person to do it. All right, I'm gonna go into a jump rope off step here, 40 seconds, which is just a 1-2 count. So I'm not going for speed, just keeping it light. Hopefully you are keeping an eye on your heart rate. Again, another way to test if you don't have a heart rate monitor is to make sure that you can comfortably breathe and have a conversation. Now, I'm not talking about hundreds of words nonstop without taking a breath. If you were on the phone, say, talking to somebody. All right, let's do some more side swings here. I'm gonna do a double swing. So another way to describe Zone 2 is if you were on the phone with someone having a conversation, you would be able to have that conversation, but they would know that you're not just sitting on the couch. They would know you're moving around. 3, 2, all right, let's do some freestyle here, which means whatever you want. And I gotta remind myself, keep it slow, keep it mellow. The Zone 2 cardio, again, is that fat burning zone, which sounds wonderful. The drawback is it is lower effort. So even you're in the fat burning zone, because it requires less effort, requires less fuel. So you're not burning as many calories as you would in a shorter, higher intensity workout. So that's why most zone 2 trainings or endurance style workouts are longer. All right, let's try that EB swing again. I'll turn around here so you can see it from behind. Really holding that back hand back there longer than you probably think you need to. And I gotta turn back around. There we go. So I can see my timer here. All right, back to boxer step. So we're gonna repeat this, I guess 5 more times, 6 times total of those 5 things, trying to, again, keep that heart rate down in that zone 2. So back to the fuel conversation. You don't burn as many calories doing zone 2 training, which is why you need to do it for longer to reap the benefits of zone 2 training. All right, let's go back to our side swings. If you are very fit, your zone 2 training is going to be like an hour plus a couple times a week. If you are newer to fitness, a beginner, your zone 2 training, 30 minutes is a great starting point. All right, back to jumping here. I just took a peek at my heart rate. I need to take it down a little bit. So, trying to keep it nice and slow. But you can see I am talking my way through this. I'm pretty well conditioned for talking and jumping at the same time because I've been doing this for 5+ years, leading live follow-along workouts, virtual group workouts, recording workouts, talking my way through the jump intervals. So if you can't talk, slow it on down. Let's go back to that arm wrap. We'll just do one side here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrap, over, unwrap. Wrap, unwrap. Wrap, unwrap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Counting helps you. It's a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back to that toe to heel. Toe to heel. Whoop. Watch out for those ponytails. The never-ending struggle with a high pony and a short jump rope. Yes, if I had a longer rope, I wouldn't catch my ponytail, or my ponytail on the back of my head. But my hat has a hole in the top just for my ponytail. And I don't necessarily like my hair down on my back. Not as big of a deal when I'm wearing layers, because it's chilly out here today. All right, let's move to that arm wrap on the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're wrapping on just one wrap around to me. You can do lots of wraps and wrap it all up if you want, but it's just a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I am stronger with the wrap on my right arm. All right, let's see, we're back to off step here. Don't forget to breathe. You shouldn't be struggling to breathe. That's another hallmark of the zone 2. You shouldn't be struggling to breathe in zone 2 cardio. If you are, you're not in zone 2, which means stop, catch your breath, and try to come back at a lower, lighter intensity. As I mentioned, if you're new to jumping, you're probably not in zone 2 using your jump rope. All right, we'll do those EB swings just on one side. So one hand goes behind the back and the other comes across in the front. If you do the full EB, you would jump through here. This is just the EB swing because I'm swinging out and not actually jumping through it. All right, it's freestyle time. So you can do whatever you want, including more of those swings. Now, if your goal is weight loss and max calorie burn. Should you do zone 2? Sure. Should it be what you do almost every day? Definitely no. It's great for an active recovery day. And let's try the other side on those EB swings. See if I remembered which way I did it. Nope, I did it that way before. Over here now. Let's turn around again to show you from behind. You want to keep that backhand right up against your body and low. If you bring that up, it's harder to get that swing around. And back to boxer stuff. Cruising right on through. Again, watch that heart rate. Talk to me. Have a conversation with me. I know I can't answer your questions, but if you do have questions after doing this workout, please post them in the comments. Love to help our jumpers make progress, get their wins, learn new skills, and back to side swings. You can do single side swings. If you keep your hands slightly apart, I'm switching top hands here. That helps prevent the rope from tangling. Of course, the half-pound rope and these amp handles with those nice smooth bearings, they don't tangle much anyway. Back to our swing kick. Zone 2 cardio is great for multitasking, especially with a jump rope. Maybe you do zone 2 on a walk or a light jog on a treadmill and it's boring and kind of drives you a little bit crazy. Doing it with a jump rope is much more fun. Or if you have ropeless, you can do it anywhere. In front of your TV, watching your favorite shows, doing a little binge watching without the guilt, right? I'm gonna go back to those arm wraps. I'm gonna alternate sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ropeless are great for zone 2. We have lots of jumpers that use them for that. And maybe you have a very busy life. Back to our toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. And slow it down. Busy life, kids that have practice that you have to go to. Bring your ropes, bring your ropeless. Walk around with those ropeless. Get your steps in, adding a little something extra to it with the ropeless. Again, multitasking. Maybe you could add in your zone 2 with your ropeless or your ropes. Like I said, during something that maybe isn't necessarily the most healthy, like sitting around binge watching a show. More arm wraps here. Arm wrap is also a fun way to change direction. Lots of things you can do with your rope without jumping over it. And back to our off step. Nice and light and low. If you're still with me, thank you for joining in. You are doing an amazing job. Even if you are resting a lot of the time, that's okay. We want to try to keep that heart rate in that zone. That's the idea of the steady state. We don't want to do intervals where it spikes way up and then we rest and drop it way back down. That would be high intensity interval training. We're not doing that today. All right. And if you want to work that EB swing or anything else, you could do an arm wrap and an EB. You can mix things up. You could just stand for a few more seconds. If that heart rate is getting up into that zone 3, 4, 5, then you need to lighten it up a bit. We're back to our freestyle interval. So good. Oh, so good. Zone 2 training helps our bodies get used to switching energy systems, going from that fat burning zone to carb burning. It is also up into another rest here. There'll be some of those EDs. You can also do a backwards ED. If you've never tried these, my 20-second rests here aren't really enough for too many tips, but hopefully you're giving it a go. And if you're spending time unwrapping yourself from that rope, that's okay. You're still moving. Skill work is a great way to do some zone training, especially a skill that challenges the brain and might get you tripped up frequently. You come out of it getting a great low intensity workout and hopefully learning a new skill. Let's see, I started to say something else about, oh yeah, zone 2 can be super meditative. If you have some good music on and just cruise on through. All right. I was still freestyling there. I think that was supposed to be boxer step again. I'm in the zone. Back to side swings or whatever you want to do. You can do a double side swing, except keep it nice and slow. Low intensity. Back to our swing kick. Once you get comfortable with jumping, it'll be a lot easier to do that zone 2 training. And again, turn on your favorite album and just feel the flow. Enjoy the jump. Staying in that low intensity zone. Now I have 2 different heart rate monitors and they don't always match up. Back to our 20-second non-jumping interval. Arm wraps. So I have a chest strap monitor and an Apple Watch. Usually they're pretty close as far as actual heart rate, but the zones are a bit different. All right. So toe to heel again. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. On my chest strap monitor, I am in zone 2. My Apple Watch says I'm in zone 3 because the zones are a little more generic. On the Crossrope app, I've got my free jump open here where I can see that heart rate. Got my other app open. Got lots of devices off screen here. And 3, 2, back to our non-jumping. Again, you can just stop and rest if you need. Or again, play with those skills. The arm up is a fun one. It looks pretty impressive, even though it's a very simple 4 count. And I think just about anybody could do that. All right, off step. I think just about anybody can learn a lot of jump rope skills if they take the time. Don't rush yourself. Be patient as you're trying new skills, remembering that they are new skills, including the basic jump that is the foundation of jumping. It takes time to learn. And you've seen I've tripped a couple times. We all trip. Do not stress out about tripping over that rope. Even after about 9 years of jumping, consistently, pretty much daily, at least a little bit of jumping. Back to our rest. I'm gonna go back to those EBs. I'm gonna alternate sides here. This also feels good on the shoulders. Again, after 9 years of consistent jumping, I still trip all the time. We all trip, and that is part of the game. Back to freestyle. Sometimes it's my own fault, like today with a high ponytail. And sometimes it just happens. Some days you have really, really trippy days where you just trip a lot. We're freestyling again, if I didn't mention that. So whatever you want to do. And we're going to go back into our 20-second rest here in about 10 seconds. We're just trying to stay moving this whole time. And your 30 minutes of movement might look quite different than my 30 minutes of movement. Staying in that zone. You can keep those ED swings on one side. It's always great to learn things on both sides if you can. But unless you're going into competition, have some fun. Don't stress too much about it. Just move that body back to our boxer step. You're doing awesome. We're, I think, 2/3 of the way through this workout. So the biggest thing, I say that a lot, there's a lot of biggest things, many important things in fitness and jumping rope. One of them is finding what works for you and not getting too hung up on all the details and all the little things that can be distraction and be discouraging. And into our side swing. There's so much out there in the world on social media, other resources. One person says one thing, the next person says something totally opposite. What do you do? I don't know. That's where finding what works for you comes in. Swing kick. We all have different goals. We are all at different starting points. What works for someone really well may not work for the next person at all. Learning-wise, fitness-wise, time-wise. Again, zone 2, great low intensity, but it does take a time commitment. You could knock out a killer high intensity workout in 10 minutes and burn more calories than we're gonna burn here in this 30-minute workout. Back to our non-jumping movement. Again, still moving. We've got the hang of those arm wraps maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So swing, wrap, open, swing, wrap, across, open. Oh, back to jumping. Or not. Maybe you're taking a whole minute of non-jumping rest. Keeping track of that heart rate. How you feel. So if you just go by effort, your zone 2 training should be about a 6 on your scale of 1 to 10. And speaking of not getting hung up on all the details, watching that heart rate monitor might not help you if it's not the most accurate kind of heart rate monitor, or you have other things going on. Back to our non-jumping interval. If it's hot out, if you didn't sleep well, if you are fasted versus fueled, lots of factors play into how you feel and how you perform. All right, back to that jump rope off step. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Nice and light and low. Unless we're doing crazy tricks where we're jumping higher on purpose, or maybe doing some double unders, we're keeping everything nice and light and low. Little soft steps, little ninja feet. If it weren't for this rope slapping the ground, you'd barely hear my feet. And that's the goal. We want to be light on our feet. That helps it keep it low impact. Even when we're doing our high intensity workouts, we're keeping it lower impact by landing soft. 20 seconds. I will turn around again, show that EB swing. This is the alternating one. Swinging to the side, holding that hand behind you. I think that's the key on that one, is leaving that backhand behind you longer than you might think. And we're into freestyle. You are doing great. We're getting close to that 30-minute mark. So this is only a 30-minute zone 2 workout, which means it is geared more towards our beginners or intermediate jumpers. They're working some different skills here, trying to keep it low intensity. All right, we've got swings again, or whatever non-jumping movement you want to do. Catching up. And you shouldn't be too out of breath. So if you are too out of breath, you're going too fast. But it can be a mid-intensity endurance workout for you, if that's the case. Boxer step. That's okay too. If you're still going, and maybe your heart rate's getting a little higher than you want it to, and you're resting with those swings, or maybe you've just been jumping this whole time, that's awesome too. However you want to do it, make it work for you. If you're doing this and really struggling to stay in that zone 2 and you can't breathe, then I do want you to rest more. But I want you to keep at jumping, keep working, keep building that baseline cardiovascular strength. Back to our 20 seconds. Because you have to start somewhere. So if you have been doing nothing by choice, by accident, injury, illness, if you've been sedentary, as soon as you get up and start moving, that heart rate's gonna go up, probably higher than zone 2. So you're gonna have to take it easy and build up that zone 2 baseline. And of course, always listen to your doctor. If they do not want you doing anything above zone 2, then you really should be keeping an eye on that heart rate. And always listening to your body. But definitely, if you are not cleared for high intensity work, please don't do it. We want you safe and healthy and strong and fit. Whoop! See, there's that trip. Again, that's okay. It happens. We're getting close to the end of this workout. If you're still here with me, thank you. I appreciate you, and I hopefully this is helping you get some movement in, learn some skills maybe, going back to that toe to heel, toe to heel, toe to heel. So good. Zone 2 movement is definitely something that falls into that category of movement is medicine. Sounds cheesy, I know. But moving your body gives you so much more than just calorie burn. It's so good for your mind, your overall wellness. Back to our 20 seconds of non-jumping. If you're feeling crummy and you were supposed to do an intense boot camp class or something like that, and you just couldn't bring yourself to go hard, zone 2 is great for that day. Jump rope off step. It's a way to get your body moving, get all those feel-good endorphins flowing without the high intensity. If you do a lot of high intensity work, you need to give your body time to recover. Recovery is crucial to being successful in your fitness journey and your wellness journey and remaining injury-free. So taking it easy a couple days a week where you still move, because some of us just get a little stir crazy if we don't move at all. That's okay. You're moving in your zone 2 training. It could be that treadmill. It could be ropeless. It could be a walk with your ropeless. It could be light intensity jump rope like we're doing right here. Maybe some flow rope. Could be swimming. Could be rowing. All right, here we go. Freestyle. Habit of saying pick it up when we go back to work. No, don't pick it up. Keep it light, keep it low. Cruising all the way through. We've got this. in whatever form it may be. Maybe we're resting again. That heart rate down into that right zone. Keeping it light. You've got this. We're almost done. We're gonna cruise on home for the final 20 seconds here with our non-jumping skills. Thank you so much for joining in today. Hopefully you enjoyed this workout and gave you a little bit of an idea of what you could do for Zone 2 training. And there is our timer. That is 30 minutes of continuous movement. Now, if you did stop, that is fine too. The goal is to build up that baseline to where you can do those 30 minutes, low intensity, steady state, cruising pace, talking pace, 6 out of 10 exertion, 60 to 70% heart rate zone, however you measure yours. Include those lightweight, steady state workouts, low intensity, steady state workouts, at least once a week, if not 2 or 3 times, depending on your schedule. And maybe you love Zone 2 training, and that's your happy place. That is awesome, but I also want you to step out of that happy place and include some high intensity workouts as well. Of course, if you are approved by your physician to do so, but that high intensity, low intensity mix, strength training, cardio training, that is what we all need to do to stay healthy and fit and strong and age well. That is the goal, right? We want to age well, keep moving, keep up with our families, do the things we love doing. So move those bodies. And of course, take care of those jumping bodies. As always, please give yourself at least 5 minutes to stretch out those legs, those arms, the whole body. You can do some stretches just standing. You can do some downward dog. That's a good one. The pigeon pose is an awesome one. Some hip flexor stretches. 5 minutes. Commit to 5 minutes and you will notice a difference, because if you miss that day and you've been doing it, you'll notice. So 5 minutes, you can handle that, right? 5 minutes, stretch, hydrate. Don't forget, hydrate. We need fluid. And of course, we need good food. Good nutrition is also key to our longevity, which is another part of aging well. So stretch, hydrate, eat good food, and happy jumping.